Hello, it's Alex. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you haven't forgotten me. Yes, my so-called summer break that was going to come to an end in early September was extended a little. Yeah, just a lot busier than anticipated, and had to get the kids off to uni and all of that kind of thing. So I am now officially an empty nester. Nobody here, just two of us and the dogs, no kids anymore. And I've also been busy the last 3 or 4 weeks sorting out my new sewing room. So yes, my youngest daughter, middle child, offered to swap over her bedroom so that I've got a bigger sewing space. So poor old Dave, he made all those desks for me not that long ago. Anyway, I've been busy decorating and doing all of that. So I haven't actually done a lot of sewing in the last few weeks, but I did do a fair bit in August, and that was very much with looking forward to the autumn and looking at autumn trends and what was kind of coming through. So I have got a couple of things to show you, including my new top, which is the Evelyn top, and I've also got coming up a giveaway for this pattern and its sister pattern. So if you hold fire for a minute, I'll tell you about that in a sec. But yeah, very much looking at autumn trends. Obviously, I'm not suggesting that I live some kind of high fashion lifestyle and I'm, only kind of wearing what's on trend and changing things each season. I'm not a lunatic, but I do really enjoy looking to see what's coming through and looking to see where there are any changes, and seeing which trends are the ones that I might like to try or might fit with my own personal style. And one of the trends that's coming up quite a lot is a bit of an emphasis on the 90s and a bit of emphasis on tartan and plaid. I mean, I think, to be fair, that tartan and plaid come up. What's the difference between tartan and plaid? Can anyone tell me? Please let me know in the comments below. Anyway, it seems to come up every autumn and winter really, but this year particularly so. I think with this kind of nod to the 90s that's going on. I would say I was wearing this fabric in the 80s, let alone the 90s. Anyway, so I really kind of wanted to use this fabric. It's been in my stash for a while. I wanted to make something that would be a nod to that trend, but at the same time be, the kind of thing that I'm more likely to wear. And I chose to make the Evelyn Blouse because we had on one of our clubhouse chats, Lindy joined us a little while ago, a few months ago, and she was talking about how the focus of her designs is very much about getting a fabulous fit for the female body, but particularly with an emphasis on comfort. And her sort of signature design style is to often have a panel on the back or a section on the back that's cut on the diagonal, which gives you a really lovely fit and lots of comfort. And a lot of us kind of went, oh, that sounds good. She also has a really good size range, so it's a nice inclusive size range as well. And after that chat, she said that she would give me a pattern that I could choose. So I haven't paid for it. It was with no strings attached, no, please take a photograph or talk about it or anything else like that. And I chose this one, and I chose this because it's so versatile. I love a versatile pattern. It's called the Evelyn top because it can be either a blouse or a jacket, depending on what fabric that you use. Obviously, this is pretty lightweight. And if you wanted to make the jacket version, obviously you just choose something a little bit more structured. It came with 2 sleeve options when I got it. One is just a straightforward sleeve, which I guess is what you'd use if you were doing the jacket. And then this one, which is a sleeve with a cuff, a proper cuff, and a bound placket. I like making cuffs. I don't know why, but I do. And she has more recently issued a sleeve add-on or a sleeve update, which is a 2-piece sleeve, which if you're making the jacket will give you comfort again, a lot of kind of ease of movement. I don't know what that was. Anyway, ease of movement. It's also the kind of pattern that you could easily extend the lines down and make into a dress because of the fabulous cut at the back and the princess lines. So you've got princess lines at the front and the back, and you've got this, I'm hoping that you can see, you've got a yoke at the top with, there's a seam here, and then obviously you go down at the back to the vents, and you've got the side panels here. So lots of options for fitting, for either adding or taking away along those seam lines. And if you're someone like me with a suede back, it just fits really nicely, and I really like that detail. I think if you made a dress version, obviously you wouldn't have a vent all the way up here because that would be a little X-rated. But yeah, a dress version would look really, really lovely as well, and I think I will probably do that at some point, possibly with its sister pattern, because its sister pattern is the Eve, very, very similar, but they have a different collar. So the Eve is one that goes all the way up to here with like a sort of mandarin type collar. But yeah, both really versatile patterns. And the instructions were great as well. That yoke at the back is a little unconventional how that goes in, because it's not a standard shirt as such, you know, with a collar stand and all the rest of it. But the instructions walk you through it, give you all the information that you need, and the diagrams are nice and clear. So I really enjoyed making it as well. And the other thing that they do with their patterns at Stokx Patterns, it's all of them. When you go to print out your pattern, they have a fabulous grid system. I have to say, I sent mine away to be printed at Fabuloso, so I didn't print it at home, but I should imagine if you are doing the dreaded A4 stick, that grid system will really help sticking them together, because there's always one, isn't there, that kind of goes on the wonk. But yeah, not only that, it's that grid system is really fabulous for helping you estimate your fabric usage if you do make changes to the pattern. Obviously, fabric requirements are given for the standard tops, but let's say you lengthen it, there is a way of reducing down the pattern pieces, printing them out and messing around with them on the grid. And because you know the grids are a set measurement of 10 centimetres by 10 centimetres, it allows you to estimate how much fabric you need. Or if you're doing what I often do, which is using some fabric you've already got and it's just short of the requirements, it means you can have a little fiddle around placing your pattern pieces and seeing how much you need. So I don't think I've seen that grid system with any of the other pattern companies. It might be unique to them, but it's interesting. So definitely recommend going to check it out. So if you fancy the giveaway, Lindy has said that she will give away the sister pack, so it's the Eve and the Evelyn together with all the associated sleeve options. There are also pockets, they're nice big pockets that go here on this side panel here. Obviously I didn't go for pockets because I was going more blousey than jackety, but there are pockets there as well. So if you fancy going in the draw for a free sister pack of the two patterns, will be a PDF. Please head over to the Stokx Patterns website and sign up to their newsletter. I will obviously put a link in the description box below, and also please just hit subscribe and subscribe to my channel here. Now I'm finally back. There will be a deadline of the 15th of October, so after that deadline we will announce who's won that and get that PDF over to you. In the meantime, there is a 20% discount at the moment on the Stokx Pattern website for the sister pack of the two patterns. So if you fancy buying one, I might be as well to go check it out now. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased with it. Definitely nice, versatile pattern, and I'm going to seriously considering, I've been wanging on about this linen wool mix fabric that they have with this cloth. Down south. I'm really intrigued by linen wool mix fabric, and I think that this Evelyn or the Eve in that fabric would give you a nice top that would be somewhere between almost like a cardigan and a jacket, which would be fabulous for this time of year. So yeah, definitely thinking about doing that. I have noticed, by the way, in case anyone tells me, I've noticed that I've managed to do an Alex special and pin a button off here. But look, I'm rather pleased with my pattern matching at the front there. And I tried to, at least these ones on the diagonal, I tried to get them at least to match somewhere at the sides. Yeah, it's all good fun, isn't it? And then the other thing that I've made that I'm wearing is my new jeans. And as I said, I was looking at trends, and it seems to me like there's a definite move away from those super skinny jeans that have been around for forever. I don't think I've been wearing skinny jeans for a couple of years, but you know, we've had the mum jeans, and straight leg jeans have been around a bit more. But it seems that trousers and jeans are definitely kind of getting wider and looser. There are more flares around, and there's a lot of emphasis on the balloon shape. Do you remember a little while ago I made the Victor woven pants from Stylark that were in that shape? And I've really enjoyed wearing those. I think I might make a pair in denim, but there are some changes I want to make to that pattern first, so I haven't done it yet. But with that in mind, I fancied a pair of flared black jeans. I didn't want to go full length because a bit like when I made those Birkin flares probably a year or two ago now, it reminded me that in the 90s, those flares we all used to wear, or the bootleg jeans, were forever scraping along the floor, and you'd have soggy hems and it would gradually increase up your leg. You'd have soggy ankles. Ugh, horrible. So I thought I'd go for a cropped flare that I can wear with, obviously I've got my Converse high tops on now, but as we get colder, I'm going to wear them with big chunky boots. I've got some new boots. Gloss over that. I know it's not everybody's style. I know it can look a little clown-like, can't it? A flare and a chunky boot, but I really like it, and it's definitely, as I say, there's a definite nod to back to the 90s. So I had a little look around, and I was trying to work out which way to go with this, because, as I said, I made those Birkin flares a while ago from paper Dhal patterns, and I really love wearing them. I made them in an orange stretch woven, but I don't fit in them anymore. No, put too much weight on. So I was thinking, well, do I use that pattern and try and find the right size? And then I spotted that Closet Case Patterns have done a flare add-on to their ginger jeans. And the ginger jeans just are my favourites. I know they fit me. I can sort of not quite make them with my eyes closed because that would be dangerous, but you know, I know them, I trust them, I like the fit. So I bought the flare extension, or the flare add-on to the ginger jeans, and I did wonder whether, because I wanted them to feel a little bootleggy rather than just flared. I wanted to have that sort of tight at the top, you know, around waist and thighs, and then with a sort of very obvious flare around the hem. So I bought the flare extension thinking I might have to alter it, but in fact I didn't. This is literally sort of fresh out of the packet. The only alteration I did, which I've been doing last couple of times, which is around the bum, let's be honest, is a pattern alteration that I learned from Silhouette Patterns. They've got a video here on YouTube, I'll link it below, which is their jeans fitting masterclass or something like that. And you basically pinch, a bit like you do with a sway back adjustment, you pinch excess fabric out from the centre seam, taper it out to the edge, and I was getting a lot of what do you call them, a lot of lines underneath my bum, and I get that on ready to wear, any jeans, any trousers I've made, I was getting the same thing. And with this adjustment, I'm going to get it a little bit, but it's probably hard to see because these are black. But yeah, it's worked really, really well. Yeah, there's nothing like you using a tried and true pattern, is there, you know, and just adding to something you already know is going to work well for you. So yeah, I really like this one. I used both the fabric and the lining fabric for the pockets is from Fabric Godmother. I'm sure that this probably isn't reading brilliantly because black is so notoriously hard to photograph. But hopefully you can see that it's just a proper pure black denim, which is not as easy to find as you might think, and especially I wanted one that had a lot of stretch in it, but still a bit of weight. Quite often black denim is dyed, isn't it, and then it just fades to grey fairly quickly, and I wanted a denim that was a proper true black. This is really, really nice, and it has got a really nice good amount of stretch. I don't know if she's still got it because obviously I made them in August. And I also got some really nice Lady McElroy fabric with, I think they're flies, for the pocket fabric, which was a bit of a treat to myself because no one else is looking at my pockets and my jeans. And I quite often, like I think a lot of us do, I quite often just grab something that I've got in my stash that is a bit uninspiring but will do. And I thought, no, this time I'm going to choose something that I know will give me pleasure, even if it's just a moment's pleasure when I'm bunging them in the washing. And I hit lucky really, because when it arrived it was obviously end of the roll and I got a little bit extra. I think I only ordered 1/2 metre and I think I got about 80 centimetres. So when it arrived I was really tempted to not use it for the pockets and to make like a cami top or something else, but I resisted that temptation and I'm really glad I did, because it does it gives me a little kick when I do put the jeans in the wash or fold them up and put them away in my wardrobe. I like the fact that the inside looks as nice as the outside, even if it's just for me. And I've still got a fair bit of that fabric, so maybe I can still make a cami, not sure. But yeah, and the one thing, before I move away from talking about the jeans, one thing I did differently this time is I am a devil for smashing to pieces jeans buttons. If you've ever made any jeans, you know you get the button and the sort of bit that goes in at the back, you make the hole in the dent in the fabric, you put them together and then you whack it with a hammer. Well, I have tried, I have asked my husband to do it, I've asked various members of my family. If I just tap it in, it's too light and they come apart and they don't properly stick together. And if I whack it really hard, they end up all sort of smashed. And again, not very successful. So this time I looked around to see if there was an alternative way of using a jeans button, and I found these, which were a pack, an assorted pack. I'll link it below. Found them on the dreaded Amazon, and they literally just screw in. So much easier. Kind of feel like I'm cheating, but the pack came, it was, brass ones and black ones and silver colour ones. Honestly, so much easier. Just screw it in, no smashing, no nothing. Fits nice and easily. They're not falling off like they normally do. I definitely recommend going and checking those out as well. So that's all I've got to show you so far. I have actually gotten a few other things that I've made. Definitely, as I say, looking towards autumn, winter. I think I've said this before. It's my favourite season every time. I will also show you my sewing room when I'm kind of ready to show, but it's coming soon. In the meantime, one thing I wanted to say, around about this time last year, I did a review of Craftsy. It had just changed hands and I still absolutely love Craftsy. I did a year ago, but at the time there was a deal. I think it was something like $3 for a year's membership. When that comes to an end, it goes to full price, which is something like $70, $79. So just a little reminder, if you did take a membership out last year and you don't want that to renew, perhaps you might want to change it now. I changed mine a couple of weeks ago, got in touch with them and cancelled. I think you have to email them to cancel the membership. Anyway, I cancelled the membership and pretty soon after got an email offer to renew at a reduced rate. of $29 rather than the $79. In my case, I decided to agree to that and to continue. So yeah, top tip, if you want to do that, go and have a look now. But it should, I'm fairly sure it was around about this time last year. So if you did take that membership out, go check it out. In other news, we have had one Clubhouse chat at the beginning of September. And I think I said then that I've kind of reduced down probably to monthly. And I'm sort of considering just knocking it on the head altogether, only because it's a Sunday afternoon. It sort of tends to dominate my Sundays, and not managing because of timescale. There are people I'd love to be able to talk to that I can't because they're in Australia or New Zealand and time differences are not allowing. So I just haven't decided quite what to do, whether to go down to monthly or just forget it altogether. But at this point in time, I'm more inclined to just leave it for a while. So I'll keep you posted. But yeah, that's kind of where my head's at the moment. But yeah, the only other thing, I will be back soon because I have got lots to show you. But the only other thing is that I have, if anyone's in the UK and in the north of England, I have booked a ticket to go to the Knitting and Stitching show in Harrogate I've got a train coming past, but I'm going to ignore it. It runs over a few days. I'm booked in for the Saturday, which I think off the top of my head is the 20th of November. I'm going to get there mid-morning. I'm doing a workshop at 4. So a few people have said, should we meet for a cup of tea or a bite to eat or something around about 1 o'clock. So if anyone else is going to the Knitting and Stitching show in Harrogate and fancies meeting up with some other sewists, come and find us. Don't yet know. I suspect there are probably more than one place to have a cup of tea, but nearer the time I'll try and find out and designate a meeting spot. But yeah, if you're going to that show on Saturday, let me know, and it would be really nice to meet up with anybody. Other than that, have a great time. Sorry I've been so long. Yeah, have a good time sewing, and I will be back pretty soon. Thank you very much.